In this video, we're going to a dark place. We're talking about Spawn and his top 5 most brutal kills. Spawn is an anti-hero, no doubt. He walks a fine line between vengeance and violence, but sometimes that line gets crossed. Big time. We're talking about those moments where Spawn unleashes the full fury of hell, leaving a trail of carnage that will make even the most hardened villain shudder. And we're going to go into Spawn's top 5 most brutal kills in no particular order. And you're going to want to see number 1. So first up, we have the chilling demise of Billy Kincaid, the child murderer who met a fate worse than death at the hands of Spawn. Now this kill is particularly disturbing because of the irony involved. Spawn uses a twisted ice cream scooper to deliver justice, a grim reminder of Kincaid's own twisted desires, luring children to his own ice cream truck just so he can have his way with them, and this is a visceral scene that shows Spawn's capacity for righteous fury. The first kill right here that we're talking about establishes Spawn as a force for vengeance against those who prey on the innocent. Even though he's a hell Spawn, he draws a line at harming children, making Kincaid's death a symbolic act of retribution. Now in this next kill, we're going to talk about Spawn versus a vampire, Paul Green, and that's in Spawn issue 321 to 322. That vampire, Paul Green, was a real piece of work. He was holding an innocent woman captive, forcing his way with her. It was really messed up. Paul Green kept this girl as his slave for over 4 years and treated her no better than his dogs. He beated her, starved her, had his way with her over and over again. He tried to beat it out of her, but she gave birth to the vampire's daughter, which only infuriated Paul even more, and the beatings became worse, and for the rest of her life she has to walk with a limp and she can't even see out of one of her eyes. When Spawn found this out, he did not hold back. First, he uses his powers to control the vampire's own guard dogs, turning them against their master. Then he goes to town on the guy, breaks his face with a punch, shrugs off a shotgun blast like it's nothing. And to top it all off, he cracks his chains across the guy's face just for good measure. Now Spawn takes Paul Green back to an abandoned undisclosed location and gives him a taste of what he did to the girl, starved him and put him through torture and makes him crawl through a cramped passageway with thorns that Spawn created. It was not created to be a passageway, it was created as a means of torture. So when Paul pushes himself to the other side at his own expense, Spawn is there and tells him that he has turned his dogs against him. Part of Spawn's powers, he can do that. And his own dogs haven't eaten in 5 days. So to avoid being eaten, Spawn tosses a key that unlocks the door to the other side. The catch is he has to make it through the torture again and crawl through it while the dogs chase him for dinner. We don't know if he makes it out alive, but he's gonna die trying. The whole scene was brutal, no doubt, but honestly, after what the vampire did to the girl, it was hard not to feel a little satisfied seeing him get what he deserved. Spawn might be a creature of darkness, but sometimes he dishes out the darkness in the name of justice. That kind of raw, visceral violence is what makes Spawn so compelling. Don't you agree? I think so. And it's not just about the gore, it's about the emotions behind it. The rage, the vengeance, the sense of righteous fury. It's what keeps us coming back for more because we hungry like that, even after all these years. Now with this kill, Spawn versus Chapel is a bit more personal. Spawn faces off against his former friend and assassin, Chapel. Their history is complex, filled with betrayal and pain, and this confrontation leads to a tragic end. Due to the riots, they later changed it to Jessica Priest, aka She-Spawn, as the one who killed Al Simmons before he turned into Spawn. But since this is brutal kills we're talking about, we're going to talk about Chapel. And this takes place in Spawn issue number 13. So in that issue, Spawn takes Chapel and teleports him and himself to a place 8,000 miles away to Botswana, the very place Chapel killed Spawn, and Spawn wanted to remind him of that. Chapel gets ready for a fight and he never gave a damn about the friendship they had until Al became the target and Chapel's assignment. At that point, it all went out the window. Chapel didn't care. We went from friends to now you're just an assignment, bruh. But before he turned into Spawn, that was Chapel's new assignment. This kill is brutal not because of the kill, but because what Spawn killed in Chapel, metaphorically speaking. You see, when Chapel killed Spawn, friends, family, and his wife Wanda mourned for him. Chapel has no family and no one will give a damn if he lives or dies. He has no family, no friends, no wife, no kids. But what Chapel cared about most were one night stands. And since Chapel stole everything from Spawn, in a way, Spawn will steal everything from Chapel and even the score. He disfigured Chapel's face to make sure no woman will want to get jiggy with his ass, and that brother to make sure he would have to live with that and endure that for the rest of his life. To me, that is brutal, savage, and a petty kill, metaphorically speaking. So now we go into the next kill. Malebolgia, when Spawn kills Malebolgia in Spawn issue number 1. And this is a big one because Spawn finally confronts his creator, the demonic overlord Malebolgia. This battle was epic in every sense of the word, a clash of titans that shakes the foundations of heaven and hell. Now Malebolgia gets decapitated by Spawn, and it was unexpected and a savage moment. It's a cathartic moment for Spawn as he breaks free from his hellish origins and takes control of his own destiny. This kill is not just brutal, it's symbolic of Spawn's journey towards freedom. You see, Spawn killing Malebolgia in issue number 100 is symbolic because Malebolgia was the embodiment of Spawn's enslavement. He manipulated Al Simmons into becoming a Hellspawn and continuously tormented him. So by defeating Malebolgia, Spawn was striking a major blow against the forces that had bound him. It was declaration of independence, so to speak. Maybe semi-independence, at least from Malebolgia. Not to mention this kill was brutal because of the build up to it, and Spawn had to lose an ally to unleash his brutal beast. Now before we go into number 1, I want you to check out RatedComics.com for some really cool limited print Rated Comics exclusives to add to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry, and also this video is sponsored by coffee. So if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description or donate to the super thanks. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. And now for kill number 1, the moment you've all been waiting for, the most brutal kill in Spawn's history. Prepare yourself because this one is absolutely insane. It's demonic Billy Kincaid, now a resurrected demonic beast. So in King Spawn issue number 3 and 4, Kincaid has kidnapped the soul of one of the children that died in an explosion in an earlier issue and is holding the kid hostage in an eerie mansion. Kincaid and Spawn engage in a brutal battle, but Kincaid proves himself to be a much more formidable opponent, and it seems like Kincaid's about to win and has the upper hand on Spawn. He's putting the work on our boy, you know? But just when it seems like all hope is lost and Kincaid gives him the bite of an impending victory, Spawn unleashes his dark power inside of Kincaid, eating him alive, then exploding from within. It appears he killed Kincaid. However, he suddenly returns even more powerful than before. He brutally beats Spawn and leaves him for dead, mocking him with the crown on his head. So all Spawn could do at this point is lie defeated on the ground. But our boy has rage that's immeasurable at times. Nothing will ever justify the slaughter of children in his eyes. He impales Kincaid in the eyes and goes beast mode from within. Kincaid goes to the ground and he mocks Spawn again and again. And Spawn knows that this is a trap, but he's gonna fall right into that trap, so he's gonna unleash that fury. He unleashes haymaker after haymaker, and he doesn't stop until Kincaid is Kincaid pudding with all that pounding that he's doing, with the side of keep my name out your mouth. So Spawn's repeated killings of Kincaid in the King Spawn series highlights the psychological trauma he carries. It's as if he's forced to relive the act of violence, unable to escape the darkness of his past. And Kincaid represents the evil that Spawn constantly battles, both within himself and in the world. These reoccurring killings symbolize Spawn's ongoing struggle against his own demons and the never-ending fight for justice. So even though this killing of Billy Kincaid Part 2 is a shocking moment, it is also, in my opinion, the #1 brutal moment because he had to relieve that trauma, and when he relieved that trauma, it unleashed the inner beast mode and brutality of Spawn. And it's also the testament to the depth and complexity of Spawn's universe, where even the most brutal acts carry significant thematic weight. So there you have it, Spawn's top 5 most brutal kills. Which one shocked you the most? Which one did you like the best? Comment below, let me know. And for more Spawn content and comic book content like this, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. Until the next upload.